Hello and welcome to episode 7 of the Turner's Digest. My name's Alex, otherwise known as Fear the Z. Welcome back to previous listeners and welcome to those who just stumbled on me. Today we're going to be discussing some new applications that I went through, including a card that offers 1.1k in value in your first year. That's after taking into account the annual fee, and we'll get into that in a little bit. We'll also talk about some gift card deals out there, some upcoming Amazon deals, and some bank account bonuses that I've been going through. So without further ado, we'll dive right into it. So I was actually surprised. I was spending this Sunday catching up on making my little podcast companion post, and I was surprised to see how many deals came out in the past couple weeks since my last post. I think it was on the 13th of June, so it's been a little bit here, but I'm happy to be back and making a post here. So the first one we're talking about is right now there's a deal at Target to get about 20% off on Uber gift cards. So Target has an offer where it's one per account, but you can get 15% off on Uber gift cards up to $500 of spend, so $75 max discount. So if you buy 5 $100 gift cards, you'll get 15% off of those for a total discount of $75. Then you can also use your Target Red card for an extra 5%. You can also use some other card if you have like higher status with Bank of America for online shopping. You can get 5.25% back there. But I went ahead and bought $250 to just add to my never-ending balance of Uber cash, and now have like I think $500 in there. But I'll probably eventually use it, and then it'll go bad. So I figured why not. Next, we have some applications that I recently did. So in my last episode, I discussed some cards that opened up, including the Wells Fargo Active Cash, the Apple Card, as well as F&BO Evergreen. This time, I have opened up the Bank of America Premium Rewards Elite. Currently, it has an elevated sign-up bonus of 75,000 points for $5,000 to spend in the first 3 months. There'll be a link to the Doctor of Credit's post about that card in general, and I'll go into here a little bit more about the benefits. But I applied for the card, and I was at, I think, 1024 status with like 5 or 6 in the past like 2 or 3 months. So pretty high velocity, but I had no problem getting approved, which was very nice. They gave me a pretty large credit limit. They did have to take some credit limit away from some other cards that I had. I believe they sucked out like, I think 6K out of another card I had and redistributed, which that's fine with me. I did call up and switch around the balances because one of the cards was left with like 3K, and that's a little low for my liking. So I spread it out a little bit, but I now have 5 Bank of America cards. My long-term thoughts on this card is I'll probably change it to a customized cash rewards to make that 4 customized cash rewards that I have. And we'll talk about that card in a little bit here, but it's all relating back to my curve strategy that I posted in, I think, episode 4. The combination of curve and Bank of America online shopping category allows you to get 5.25% cash back on pretty much all your spend, up to 2.5K per quarter per card. And since I have 4 of them, that would be 10K per quarter per card. It does have to be a MasterCard because Curve doesn't support Visa just yet, but we'll discuss later, but you can actually network change that. So if you do have some Visa cards that are customized cash rewards cards, you can change that to be MasterCards, which is very nice. So if you really want to go for that 5.25%, you can go that route, and we'll talk about that in a little bit here. But more on the Premium Rewards Elite card. So in the title of this episode, you'll see that I'm talking about a card that offers 1.5K value in the first year, and that is this Bank of America Premium Rewards Elite card. That's also not including cashback, so there'll be a table on fearthez.wordpress.com for this episode, the companion post, that'll show my breakdown of that cashback. But essentially, the card itself has a $550 fee. I'm breaking down the Premium Rewards card as well, which is kind of similar. I also had that card and already got the sign-up bonus for that and just downgraded that to a unlimited cash rewards. But no, that's a lie. I downloaded that to a customized cash rewards and organically opened up a unlimited cash rewards to get the sign-up bonus for that. Anyway, the Premium Rewards Elite card has a $550 annual fee. The Premium Rewards has a $95 annual fee. The sign-up bonus is $750 for the elite and $600 for the regular. And now some unique things here, some nuances with Bank of America. Their airline credit and their lifestyle credit, which is exclusively for the elite card, those are per calendar year, not annual fee year. So I opened up the card in June, and I'll be able to use both the airline credit, which is $300 on the elite and $100 on the regular this year. And then at the start of next year in January up until the end of next year, I'll be eligible for that once again. So it resets at the end of the year. So what's really useful with that is you can get this credit twice per annual fee. So what I plan on doing is maximizing that $300 this year for the airline credit, maximizing the lifestyle credit, $150 this year, bringing that total to $450, and then next year double dipping again before the annual fee hits. So that'll be another $450 for $700 for just the one annual fee, and then I plan on downgrading before that second fee hits. So if you take that $700 plus the $750 that the card gets for a sign-up bonus minus the $550 fee, you have a net cash back of $1,100. It comes in the form of points for some of it, but I plan on just converting to cash. You can get 20% back for using the points on the portal for travel, but I don't chase that route, and maybe you would get more value from it, but I don't know. Maybe I'm lazy. And then in comparison, the premium rewards not the elite version, since you don't have the lifestyle credit and it's $100 for the airline credit instead of $300, the net cash back the net benefits of the card excluding cash back is $705 compared to $1,100. So even with the higher annual fee, I think that the premium rewards elite card is worth it, at least for the first year. And if you can maximize those credits, I do have a trip coming up this year for a Europe trip, and I've already bought the tickets, but me and a couple friends are going to Europe, so I plan on just buying some things on the plane during our flights. I think we have like 5 flights. We're bouncing around a bit in Europe, so we'll buy some nightcaps and have some fun on the flight. Why not? Try and waste $300. And I've done this before. Like I said, I had the premium rewards card, the regular one, and I've used that $100 airline credit to get American Airlines gift cards, which still count for that, and it should be the same for the elite card. So anything I have left over, I'll use it for that, and I'll just buy gift cards, as well as for the next year. For the double dip, I'll do just $300 gift cards again. I already have 3 years worth of $100 gift cards that I haven't used yet, so luckily they don't expire, so I'll just be kind of sitting on that for a while, but hopefully I find use for it eventually. I'm surprised my area doesn't have a big American Airlines hub, so I got to find use for those eventually. But regardless, I still think the card's pretty useful, and $1,100 is a great benefit for the initial sign-up. All right, the next card I opened up was the Chase Amazon Prime Visa, which was since it's Amazon Prime Days coming up here, and I'll talk about that coming up here as well. But it's currently Chase is offering a $200 Amazon gift card with no spend required. So just open the card and you get $200 gift card. And the reason why I applied for this was I know that my 24 status is pretty crazy, and my recent velocity is also crazy as well. So after that Bank of America Premium Rewards Elite card, I was at 1024 with, I think, 5 in the past, 2 or 3 months. I keep quoting and saying I think. Let me just pull up what my exact numbers are. So I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 24. And since April, that'll be 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm 7 in the past 3 months. And I opened up 5 cards in June. 1 at the end of May. So very high recent velocity. But thankfully I haven't been denied yet, and same thing with the Chase Amazon Prime Visa. Card doesn't apply for the 524 rule, but it will count towards 524. So I was above 524. They don't look at that for this particular card, so I applied, and I initially got a pop-up on screen saying I was denied, and I called up and got to the correct department, and they read me the reasons. And the first reason specifically called out that it was either too many recent applications, too many new recent cards, or too high limit with Chase. So They also quoted like 2 or 3 other ones, but I made a point for that first one. I was like, okay, representative, I understand that I have too high of a limit with Chase. Is it possible for me to redistribute some of my existing credit limit and get reconsidered for the card? The representative was pretty skeptical of my cards. He's like, or my credit profile. He was like, yeah, all of these reasons seem accurate. You do have a lot of new cards and not a lot of history with those cards just yet. And I was like, yeah, but it specifically calls out too high of a limit. Is there anything we can do about that? He's like, yeah, we'll see what we can do. He seemed a bit like almost like disappointed. He was like a father figure, it sounded like, in a way. And he was like, wow, that's a lot of going on here. You got a lot going. You got a lot on your card, your report here. Like that's I didn't say alarming. I forget the exact term he used, but he sounded like disappointed in a way. But he was willing to help, and after a couple minutes on hold, he was like, I was able to reallocate some of your credit limit from another one of your cards and did approve you for the Amazon Prime Visa, and that $200 Amazon Prime gift card instantly credited to my account, which was nice. As I mentioned, I'm currently 1124, so I'm going to be stuck in this non-Chase garden for a while, so I plan on going for another card. I'm not sure just yet what card, because I'm not very attractive to just about anybody, but I kind of want to apply until I get denied just to see how many I can get. I also would love to get a card that's not currently on my card images post, so I can get something new there. I will be adding a couple new ones, including the Bank of America Elite card. The card's pretty nice to that post, so keep an eye out for that if you're interested in that. All right, enough on my recent applications. Next, I'll talk about some bank account bonuses that hit my account this month. I signed up for the Bank Hometown $250 reward sign-up bonus. Actually, it's $300, but you get $200 for completing, I think it's, what are the exact qualifications? You get $200 for opening an account and activating a direct deposit for, I think it's 2 months of at least $25, and then $50 for enrolling in e-statements, and then $50 for keeping the account open for 12 months. So I got the $250 in the show notes or the descriptions of my data points. It's a link to my comment on Doctor of Credit, so feel free to look at that if you're interested. It is only for Massachusetts and Connecticut, so keep that in mind. But it was a pretty easy bonus, and they paid out pretty quick. Next is PNC $400 bonus paid out as well. For that one, it's a little bit more of a pain because you have to direct deposit $500 per month in order to keep the account free. So I just did pushes from my Fidelity cash account, which for them shows up as income and they consider it a direct deposit. So I use that as both my direct deposit requirement and to keep the account free. So I did that for 2 months and the reward credited pretty quickly. Next, I'm just about finishing my Capital One 360 performance savings account bonus. That one was deposit $10,000 within 15 days of account opening, keep it in there for 90 days, and then they'll pay out $100 specifically for me putting in $10K. The interesting thing about that is I've now reached that 90-day holding period, and they should pay out, I think, at the end of this month. But that account earns, I think, 4.15% APY, and I'm just going to pull it out, put it into Juno since I've met that 90-day holding period. I might not, just in case they want that 15-day grace period as well, but we'll see what I wind up doing. But that should hit pretty soon here, so I figured I'd call it out. All right, next we'll just talk about some interesting Doctor of Credit posts that I saw. There was Capital One Venture 100K point links floating around. If you do see that, I think that's a great offer. You could downgrade that card in the future. Capital One's a little bit interesting with their approvals as well as their downgrade options, so keep that in mind and be sure to do your research. But the 100K for that card is pretty fantastic, and you can redeem at 1 cent per point for travel purchases. So, and I believe that card also earns 5% on the portal. I could be mistaken, though. Be sure to double check, but it's a pretty decent card, especially with that sign-up bonus. Next, there's $50 for free for shopping at Staples while using the Capital One shopping portal. So I was going to purchase something, but I was doing it late at night, and I saw it, and I went to purchase ink and actually did make the purchase, and then I realized I probably should have read the terms, and I did read the terms and explicitly call out ink. So I didn't wind up using it, but figured I'd call it out. Maybe some of you will go through that and get some $50 worth of free stuff. Next, we have Laurel Road that's offering $300 plus $20 a month sign-up bonus, which is a bank account. I can't apply for it because they just won't approve me. My checks is pretty ridiculous right now, as well as my credit report, so I have to kind of lay low for bank account sign-up bonuses at present, but that's a pretty good one if your checks isn't ridiculous like mine. Another one is the Wells Fargo $325 sign-up bonus, which is pretty good. It's available nationwide as well. Something I did take advantage of, I think it was last week, this past weekend, was there was a 75% off your DoorDash order with a maximum value of $20. That popped up, and for a time it wasn't requiring you to be a Dash Pass customer, but I wasn't a Dash Pass customer, and when I tried to use it, it told me that I needed to be one. And then I realized that Chase cards each come with 3 months of free Dash Pass. So I've already used one for one of my cards, but since I now have 2 other cards, I went to redeem it for my other cards. But I learned that if you remove the Chase card that you did use your Dash Pass, your free 3 months Dash Pass on, and then add a card that you haven't, Dash Pass will see that when you click the Dash Pass option in the app, and it'll show you that you can credit that 3 months. So just be sure to set a reminder to cancel that. And I got some smoothies for like $8, which was nice. Smoothies are ridiculously overpriced anyway, but it was kind of free. I went and picked it up, and I mean, $8 isn't bad for 2 smoothies with some added stuff in it. We enjoyed it, so it was very nice. Next, just a kind of thought I had, but once this podcast reaches a certain amount of listeners, I think that they can start putting like advertisements on it. I'm not really sure how that works, so apologies if the ads are kind of intrusive, but because the podcast could potentially be earning money. Right now, it doesn't earn any money. The website doesn't earn any money. I don't even have paid WordPress. Any ads you see on the site are WordPress putting them, so apologies for that. Feel free to put ad blocker. I don't care. I definitely want to go through and host the blog a little bit better and maybe get some AdSense on there, but I haven't just yet. But if the podcast does start making even a little bit of money, I kind of want to open up a business for it, and then that'll really, I mean, the real reason why I want to do that is to open up business credit cards, which are incredibly lucrative, and I haven't gotten into that field yet. And I know you can open it without really having a business, but I kind of want to have a legitimate business and not have to fudge things. So this would be a good excuse to have one. So that might be coming up here, and if I do that, maybe I'll make a post describing that process and what it was like for me to do that. Next, just something I saw was there's a free Slurpee on the date 7/11, July 11th at 7-Eleven. So if you're interested in a free Slurpee, a small Slurpee, you can swoop in there and get yourself one. Another thing coming up here is Amazon Prime Day, which I believe starts tomorrow. I plan on probably picking up a Kindle Oasis if the deals are pretty decent. My Kindle is not super old, but I haven't really taken good care of it, and the screen's got some kinks in it. And when it does that, they have some kind of like filament on the screen, some kind of layer, and it like dulls the backlight, but the scratches now just show like really bright white, which kind of annoy me. And I kind of really like the way the Kindle Oasis looks, and I like the buttons on the side instead of tapping the screen for next and forward. So I'll probably wind up getting that. And when you trade in your Kindle, you get a 20% coupon for it. So my Kindle trade-in value is like $5, but I get a 20% off. And if they have a decent deal on the Kindle Oasis, I'll probably pick it up. And then also something to note, if you are shopping on Amazon Prime Day, keep in mind that there are those Amazon Shop with Points deals. They're pretty, your mileage may vary. I don't think I've ever been able to use one of them. Maybe one with Discover like a while back, but it never doesn't hurt to look at that. All you do is you use like 1 or 2 points and you enter the promo code and you get like 20% off up to 10 or $20, which is pretty nice. Another thing that I commented on, what podcast was it? Back in episode 3 was the Mumu referral, which is a investment portfolio platform. They have a new sign-up bonus, a new referral bonus that nets like $320 to $460 if you park $5K with them and just let it sit there. You don't have to invest it. There's a qualifying period, I think, of like a couple months. I think it was 60 days, but that's a pretty fantastic offer. I signed up when it was like $50, and I got around $50. But if you're still interested in getting some free money and I think I get a small kickback. I think it's like $50 or $100 if you use my referral link, but it'll be in the show notes as well as on the companion post. So if you feel like using that, by all means, go for it. And it is a lottery, but I think there's guaranteed $100, and then there's guaranteed you get, I think, a Tesla or Google stock or something, and then you get like a random raffle of, I think it's like 15 stocks. Majority of them will probably be worth like $4, but it's free. Why not? It doesn't take too much effort, and you can help the show. As I said, there's really nothing in my pocket for this show. It's kind of just a hobby of mine. So feel free to use any referral links, and it'd be really appreciated. Next, as I teased a little bit before, I just went through and network changed my Bank of America customized cash rewards from a Visa to a MasterCard. So that card that I did that on was originally a preferred rewards card, not the elite card, but the original preferred rewards. I've had that for a couple of years now. It just nets me $5 every year because I just buy the the American Airline gift cards with it, even though I haven't used them yet, but it still nets me $5 since the fee's $95. But I was kind of sick of doing that, and like I said, I'm not using those American Airlines gift cards, so I decided to product change it to a customized cash rewards. And while I was on the phone, I thought of asking them, because I know that they used to offer a public MasterCard with that. I know the MLB card, when they were the official credit card of MLB, Bank of America, that is, they offered a MasterCard version, but they've since no longer offer a MasterCard version publicly, at least. So I figured I'd ask and see if that was a possibility, and the representative was like, yeah, absolutely. I think I've talked about this in the past too, but they were like, oh, we do network changes. Yeah, it happens pretty often. So I was like, can I go ahead and do that? And they were like, oh, we can't do it in the same transaction. So once your customized cash reward arrives, you can then call us and get it transferred over for a network change from Visa to MasterCard. So I just called, I think it was yesterday, and the representative was like, yeah, absolutely, I'll submit that form for you, and if you're approved, you'll receive the card in 2 to 4 weeks. I did explicitly ask if there was a credit inquiry or a new line of credit, and they said no. That's just how they do it. So if I do get an update on that and I get that shipped out here, I'll be sure to share it in my next episode or in an individual blog post. And then one more thing that I forgot to comment on was that the Premium Rewards Elite Bank of America card, that also comes with a $150 lifestyle credit, which counts for like gyms or subscription services and some other things. And I wound up having my HBO Max, which is now just called Max, but if someone says, yeah, I bought Max, you won't know what that means. So it's still HBO Max. I don't know why they put the change. Anyway, I put the $150, which is what my legacy plan, whatever the hell price is, which is a little ridiculous, but I kind of use it. So I was like, screw it. And it should count for the lifestyle credit anyway. But normally those credits, at least if it's like the airline credit, takes a couple of days. Looking at my old data points for the airline credit, but I haven't seen anything, and I think I purchased it a week or two ago. So while I was on the phone asking about my network change, I asked the representative if they could look into that for me, and they said yes, this charge should be credited for the lifestyle credit. It does qualify, but it doesn't look like it's tracked, so we'll submit a review and get it manually credited. So I'll also give an update on that if that comes through. And the one final thing that I saw was, in addition to Amazon Prime Day, Amazon Prime gives you free Grubhub Plus for, I believe, 2 years, which gives like some little incidental discounts and I think some free fees and no delivery free or something. But from July 11th to the July 12th, which is Amazon Prime Days, if you use code GRUBPRIME, you get $15 back on a purchase of $25 or more. So I normally go to work on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I'll probably just order some lunch and get $15 back. But that's about it. Just kind of a quick and dirty episode here. Not super quick. I mean, it's going on almost 25 minutes here, but hopefully you thought that was interesting. Upcoming episodes here, I definitely, anytime I talk to someone that doesn't know I do this kind of thing with blogs and podcasts, they are looking, the first thing they say is, oh, that's awesome. I've always wanted to get into that, but I don't know how to get into it. Could you do like an introductory episode? And I think I might come out with a series of like churning for lay people. We'll see what happens with that. I have a couple ideas. I might intersperse it into my regular daily Churner's Digest updates. So if you're interested in that, keep posted, stay tuned. But otherwise, there'll still be some regular Churner's Digest sort of my personal curated Doctor of Credit post is essentially what this has turned into, if we're really being honest here. But I kind of obsessively read Doctor of Credit, and it kind of saves you from sifting through some of this nonsense in there. So clearly some people think it's useful. So thanks for tuning in. And until next time, thanks for listening, and have a nice week.